Good morning, class 3. Let's begin with our English literature session after the break. Children, we are going to skip 4th chapter and now we'll go to 5th chapter, that is the magic gifts. Because of Corona, that we are reducing syllabus. So just skip the 4th chapter, come to 5th chapter, the magic gifts. Children, this is a story about Chin, who has 2 greedy elder brothers. Chin gives away his small share of money to help the poor. His brothers become rich and mock Chin for being poor. Children, this is a story about a boy, Chinese boy, whose name is Chin. He had 2 elder brothers. Both the brothers were very greedy. After the death of their father, Chang, these 2 brothers mocked him. Mocked him means made fun of him and tortured him and told him to be away from their village. Let us see what happened to him, how father died, and how these 2 brothers left him alone. So we start with the chapter. Long ago, a man called Chang lived with his 3 sons, Yong, Ying and Chin. So a man whose name was Chang, he lived with his 3 sons. He had 3 sons. The eldest was Yong, then second was Ying and third was Chin. Chang was very old and very rich. One day, he called his sons to his bedside and said, "I want you to make me a promise." He croaked. So Chang was very old and he told his sons to come to him and listen to him. He wanted them to make him a promise. So he called his sons to near his bedside. Now you must be wondering what promise he wanted from his sons. Now he starts speaking. "When I die, I want you to share my fortune equally. You must live together happily." So it is very natural that when a father is going to die, he asks his children to live together and live happily and not to fight. And he wants his sons to share his fortune. What is fortune? Fortune is the wealth, equally. So Chin was glad to agree, but his elder brothers did not sound so happy. So Chin was very good person. He was very happy and he said, okay father, we will do it. But his elder brothers, Yong and Ying, they were not happy with this decision. Not long after Chang died, the brothers divided his fortune. So when Chang died, the brothers, they decided to divide his wealth. Now Yong says, "I am the oldest," said Yong grandly. "I should have the largest share." He says, "Because I am the oldest, मैं सबसे बड़ा हूँ, तो I should get the largest share. मुझे ज़्यादा मिलना चाहिए." Second one says, "I am nearly as old as you," whined Ying. So Ying also said कि I am also as old as you. तुम्हारे जितना बड़ा ही तो हूँ मैं. Nearly as old as you. So I deserve a large share too. So I should also get some large share. ज़्यादा मिलना चाहिए मुझे भी. So Yong and Ying each took a big share of the fortune and said, "The rest is yours." They told Chin. So both of them kept the large share, and whatever was left over, bacha kucha, they said ki Chin, it is yours. Usko de dete hain bacha kucha. Now Chin was left with a tiny bag of silver coins. So what Chin got? A small bag of silver coins. Thank you, said Chin. So Chin was satisfied with that small bag of silver coins only, and he took it happily and said thank you. Unlike his greedy brothers, he didn't care for money. So he was not greedy. That is why he did not care for the money. Money ke liye parwah nahi karta tha. So he said, okay, I'm happy with this only. Ying and Yong couldn't wait to spend their cash. Soon the house was full of new furniture. So Ying and Yong, they were very extravagant. Extravagant means खर्चा करने उन्होंने फटाफट से they spent their money. फटाफट से they spent their money, and their house was full of new furniture. They purchased new furniture with the money. Now there's no room for you, Chin, said Ying. You will have to move out. So they said कि इस घर में अब तुम्हारे लिए कोई जगह नहीं है. There is no space for you, Chin. Now you please move out from here. हमारे घर से चले जाओ. So Chin bought an old hut in the village. What Chin did now? Chin bought an old hut in the village. Village में ही छोटी सी एक गंदी सी पुरानी सी झोपड़ी उसने खरीद ली. Then his home was simple, but he was happy. His home was very small and very simple, but still he was happy there. Chin spent his days with the poor villagers. He used his money to help them. He bought them food, new clothes, and even paid their rent. So what he did? Chin, when he was living in the old hut there, he used to spend his days with the poor villagers. So along with the poor villagers, he used to spend his time. And he used to help the poor people also. How he helped? He bought food for them. He bought new clothes for them. And he even paid their rent. Ka rent bhi pay karta tha. He never spent a penny on himself. Khud par to he never spent even a single rupee. So why do you think Chin not spend even a penny on himself? Yes, because he was not greedy. Alright. Meanwhile, Chin's brothers used their share of fortune to make even more money. So Chin's brothers, they started doing business with the money. They started making more money. Now they bought a huge house, silk clothes, and sparkling jewels. So both of his brothers, they purchased a big house, silk clothes, and sparkling chamakte hue jewels, gehne. They spent every single penny on themselves. So whatever the money they got, they spent on themselves only. Khud par kharchte rahe. One day, Ying and Yong saw a man dressed in rags. In rags means phate purane kapde. So one day, Ying and Yong were roaming in the village, and they saw a man who was wearing old clothes, old and torn clothes. He looked familiar. They thought कि इसको देखा देखा लगता है कुछ. Familiar means देखा हुआ लगता है. It was Chin. He had given away all his money and was the poorest man in the village. So who was that person in rags? It was Chin. Chin had given away all his money. सारी money अपनी बांट चुका था. And now he had become the poorest man in the village. सबसे poor man village में अब वही रह गया था. You can't go around like that, said Yong. Yong said कि you cannot live like this. You're making our family look bad, added Ying. So both of them said कि we feel insulted because of you. So you do one thing, you leave the village right now. Yong said, you leave the village now only and don't come back until you are rich. कि जब तक तुम अमीर नहीं हो जाते, don't come back. So do you think Chin will leave the village? Yes, Chin left the village. Now Chin did not want to upset his brothers, so he left the village. He did not want to bother his brothers, so he left the village. Village छोड़ करके चला गया. He walked for miles and miles. At last, he came to a wide stream. So बहुत दूर दूर तक वो चलता रहा. And then at the end, he came to a wide stream. Wide stream means बहुत बड़ी सी एक river was flowing, and there he came. He took off his shoes, he removed his shoes, and dangled his tired feet in the cold water. He hung his tired feet, थके हुए पाँव उसने पानी में डाल दिए, ठंडे पानी में डाल दिए. So when he was sitting with his feet in the water, excuse me, said a voice. He heard a voice. It said, excuse me. Chin jumped. Behind him stood an old monk. So Chin jumped, and who was there? There was an old monk. Monk is a, saint. He saw one saint standing behind him. I'm on my way back to my temple, said the monk, but I can't get across the stream. So he said that I am going to my temple, but I cannot cross this river. Okay, Chin was in trouble, he thought, but he said Chin was tired, but he was happy to help. So Chin was a helpful person, though he was tired, but he was happy that I will help you. And he said, I will help you. No problem, he said. Jump on my back. He said that I have no problem. Just jump on my back. मेरे पीछे चढ़ जाओ. The old monk held on tightly. Chin carefully waded through the rushing water. So the old man, he jumped on his back and held him tightly. Tightly पकड़ लिया उसको. And Chin carefully, slowly, he crossed the river. The monk and his bundle were heavier than they looked, but Chin kept going. So the monk was carrying a bundle of sticks, and both monk and his bundle of sticks were on his back. They seemed to be lighter, but they were heavier than they looked. देखने में तो हल्के लग रहे थे, but they were very heavy. When Chin reached the other side of the stream, the monk gave a weak sigh. Now when Chin reached the other side, cross कर लिया, when he had crossed the stream, the monk gave a weak sigh. Monk ऐसे बोला, oh. Then, could you carry me to my temple? He asked. Now he wanted some more help. He asked him, can you carry me to my temple? मुझे उठाकर temple तक भी ले जाओगे? No problem, puffed Chin. So Chin was breathing heavily. सांस चढ़ रही थी उसको, but still he said, no problem, I will take you. After a long walk, Chin and the monk arrived at a lonely, deserted temple. So after walking for a long distance, Chin and the monk, they reached a lonely, एकदम खाली सा temple में वो पहुंचे. Where are the others? asked Chin. So Chin पूछता है कि where are the other people of this temple? I am the only one here, said the monk. It's a hard life. So monk said that I live here alone. मैं अकेला रहता हूँ यहाँ पर, and it is very hard life which I live here. Chin felt sorry for him. I'll stay and help you, he said. Chin was very sad to hear this, that he was living alone. He said that I will stay with you and help you. So Chin spent the next few months sweeping floors, mending and copying out the books. So Chin stayed there for a few months. He used to sweep the floors, he used to mend the things, repair the things, and copy out the books. Holy books are kept in the temples, so he used to copy them out also. One day, the monk noticed Chin looking sad. What's the matter? He asked. So one day, the monk saw that Chin was very sad. So he asked him, what is the matter? Why are you so sad? So Chin says, I miss my brothers and the villagers. Sighed Chin. Chin said that, I am missing my brothers and my villagers. Then you must return, said the monk. I'll be fine on my own. So the monk said, then you must go to your brothers and villagers. I'll stay here and I'll be fine. The next day, Chin got ready to leave. So the very next day, Chin got ready to leave the monk. Now when he was leaving, monk said, I have 3 gifts for you, said the monk. So he said that I have 3 gifts for you. He gave him 3 gifts. Just note down what were the 3 gifts. The monk handed Chin an old straw mat, a wooden spoon, and a pair of chopsticks. So monk gave him one old straw mat, 1 wooden spoon, and a pair of chopsticks. They might come in use, said the monk with a smile. So monk said, when you will go from here, they might help you. They might come in your use. Chin took them. Then Chin walked all day. I'll spend the night in this forest, he thought. So Chin started walking. The whole day he kept on walking. And then when he was tired, he stopped in a village. And there he decided to spend the night in the forest. He spread out the straw mat and lay down on top of it. It was thin and worn, but Chin soon fell asleep. So the mat which was given by the monk, he spread out that mat and lay down on it. The mat was thin and worn, टूट फटा हुआ भी था, but Chin soon fell asleep. उसको जल्दी से नींद आ गई. When Chin woke up, he couldn't believe his eyes. So when he woke up, he was surprised to see what was there. So what was there, you know? The forest had disappeared and he was lying on a big bed in a beautiful room. There was no forest now and he was lying on a big bed, not on the straw mat. Now he was on a big bed and he was not in the village, not in the forest, but he was in a beautiful room. Now Chin poked his head out of the window. He was in the tower of a grand castle. So he saw out from the window, and what he noticed where he was in the tower of a grand castle. बहुत बड़े महल में था वो. Chin saw the old mat under the mattress of the bed. So where was the old mat? Under the mattress. You know what is a mattress? Mattress is the गद्दा, आपके बेड का गद्दा. उसके नीचे the old straw mat was there. Now Chin picked up the spoon. It made him think of food. I wish I had something to eat, he sighed. Now the second gift he was having, which the monk had given him, was the spoon. He picked up the spoon. Now when you have a spoon in your hand, what do you feel? What do you think? That I should have something to eat with the spoon. He also thought that I should have something to eat with the spoon. As soon as he thought of the food, fruits came pouring out of the spoon. Grapes, cherries, plums, peaches, and pineapples piled up on the floor. So as he thought of the food, from the spoon started pouring out. Pouring out means निकलने लगे उसके अंदर से. Different types of fruits like grapes, cherries, plums, they all were piled up on the floor. Floor पे ढेर लग गया इन सब चीज़ों का. Piled up means ढेर लग गया. As he munched on the fruit, Chin looked down at his torn clothes. So when he was eating the fruits, now he looked at his torn clothes. अपने फटे हुए कपड़ों की तरफ देखा उसने. Now, I wish my suit was fine as this castle. So when you are in a very beautiful castle and you're eating good food, what do you think? I should have good clothes also. है ना? So then he wished to have her beautiful clothes also. I wish my suit was as fine as this castle, said Chin, taking a handful of cherries. So he was eating the cherries and was wondering about his suit. Chin suddenly found himself dressed in silk robes. The mat and spoon must be magical, he thought. So, as he thought of his clothes, what happened? His clothes also changed into silk, fine silk clothes. Now he thought that mat and spoon must be magical. Magical होंगे, जादुई होंगे. Now, I wonder if the chopsticks were magical too, thought Chin, tapping them together. Now he said that कि अगर ये दो चीज़ magical हैं तो third भी magical ही होगी. Now he started tapping the chopsticks together. As he tapped, जैसे chopsticks को उसने बजाया, suddenly 4 beautiful maids appeared. They sang and danced for Chin. So 4 beautiful maids आ गई उसके सामने and they started singing and dancing for Chin. Now, how good, how nice Chin was. He thought of his brothers. If only my brothers could see me now, thought Chin. So Chin thought कि कितना अच्छा होता कि मेरे brothers भी मुझे देखते ऐसे में. That very day, Ying and Yong passed Chin's castle. So that very day, उसी दिन क्या हुआ? Ying and Yong, his brothers, they passed from near his castle. I have never seen this castle before, said Ying. So Ying, जैसे he saw the castle, your big palace, he said, I have never seen this before. मैंने पहले ऐसा नहीं देखा यहाँ पर. It's enormous, cried Yong. Yong said that it is enormous, it's very big. The owner must be even richer than us. कि जो इसका मालिक है, owner है, he must be richer than us. हमसे भी अमीर होगा. The 2 nosy brothers sneaked inside. Nosy means jealous, gande. The 2 nosy brothers sneaked inside. चुपके चुपके अंदर गए. When they saw Chin, they were amazed. So they were surprised to see Chin there. Chin told them all about the monk and the magic gifts. Ying and Yong were jealous. So Chin told them all about the monk, temple and the magic gifts. उसने बताया कि how I helped the monk and how monk had given him the magic gifts. But his 2 brothers were not happy. They were jealous. Maybe if we were poor, the monk would give magic gifts. Ying whispered to Yong. Now Ying said to Yong, whispered means धीरे से बोला कि अगर हम गरीब हों तो monk हमें भी gifts देगा. I'm sure he would, said Yong. Let's get started. So Yong said, हाँ, he will give us. So let's get started. What they started doing? When they went back home, when they got home, the 2 brothers gave away their sparkling jewels, new furniture and silk clothes. Now what they did? They gave away. उन्होंने अपना sparkling jewels भी दे दिए, new furniture भी दे दिया और silk clothes भी दूसरों को दे दिए. Then they even gave away their huge house. ना घर भी दे दिया. All they had left with the clothes they stood in. Now what were they having? They were having only the clothes in which they were wearing. Let's visit the monk and collect our gifts, said Ying. So Ying said that, chalo, let us go to the monk and take our gifts from him. When the brothers arrived at the temple, there was no sign of the monk. So when they reached the temple, there was no monk. They waited all day, but the man had never appeared. See, they waited there for the whole day. The old monk did not come. Let's stay a little longer, said Ying. थोड़ी देर और रुक जाते हैं, Ying बोला. They waited and waited. The days turned into a week, the weeks turned into a month, and the months turned into a year. So they waited there for 1 year. But the monk never returned. Monk nahi आए. Finally, the brothers gave up. हार मान ली उन्होंने. Gave up means उन्होंने हार मान ली. They trudged back to the village, tired and penniless. Now they came back to their village. Now they were tired, thake hue, or penniless means they were not having even a single rupee. Chin saw them from the window of his castle. Come inside, he called. So Chin saw them from the window of his palace and he called them inside. Chin welcomed Ying and Yong into his home and shared his fortune with them. So Chin said, you come to me, live with me. He also shared his wealth with them. At last, the three brothers lived happily together, just as their father had wanted. Now at the end, they all started living happily as their father wanted when he was dying. So children, I hope you have understood the story. If you have not understood, go through it twice, thrice. Okay? And children, keep subscribing the channel so that whenever I put the new work, you get it before time. And children, I will also post the stories which we are not taking into the syllabus. If only you subscribe the channel, only then you will get it. And if you don't, maybe people will be missing. Not the school children, but the other ones. Goodbye, children.